Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, might have just made the best financial decision of his life. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Gen Z BTC. It's me, Satoshi Guapamoto, and today we're going over how GameStop's $4.5 billion in cash could be converted into Bitcoin, how GameStop could become the next MicroStrategy, and how this could create a Wall Street Bets level 2 type frenzy. This is part 2 of the original frenzy that happened back during the COVID era run up. All right, let's break this all down. First off, recently, Ryan Cohen, that smug, weird, slimy, rat-faced little guy, was posted a picture with Michael Saylor, right? So he's signaling to the market that he might be in talks to do something with the $4.5 billion in cash that he has on his balance sheet, which has been doing nothing but losing value, all right? Now, Ryan Cohen knows absolutely nothing about how to create shareholder value because he sucks and he's a horrible CEO. All he knows how to do is how to manipulate and steal from all of his loyal cult fanboys, right? And the GameStop cult, all right, what they do is they buy GameStop forever, no matter what, and they keep crying about the price on their little subreddits because they're idiots and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what's going on, and they don't know how to let go of a thesis once it's been proven incorrect, okay? So because Ryan Cohen knows this, what he does is he lets his little cult members buy up GameStop shares because they think that they're going to buy up 100% of the float, and that's going to squeeze out all the hedge funds, which are no longer really even shorting the stock, by the way. They're going to squeeze out all the hedge funds, and then it's going to go to $100 million trillion, and they're all going to be gazillionaires because of GameStop is the most shorted security of all time, right? Unfortunately for them, they didn't exactly realize something called counterparty risk. The counterparty risk was that the institutions actually own the shares and they can turn on and off the buy button. And that's part of the risk that you take with securities when you're buying them. It's a rigged game and they did cheat. Okay. The institutions cheated and they beat the GameStop guys. It sucks. It's not fair, but that's life. It is what it is. That's why we buy Bitcoin. There's zero counterparty risk. So with all that being said, these guys get dumped on by Ryan Cohen, the CEO, which is why he's able to generate $4.5 billion in cash by diluting shareholders by selling shares of GameStop, right? Because he knows that they're just going to keep buying it back up at lower prices because they're delusional as hell, Now, if he's done grifting and done being a scammer, Michael Saylor comes to him and he tells him, hey, by the way, your company is going to zero. It completely sucks. No one's buying games from GameStop. No one wants that garbage. You guys are literally selling reused batteries. Okay, that is the funniest shit I have ever seen in my life. When I first saw that, I was on the verge of tears. So with that being said, Michael Saylor's like, hey, instead of selling reused batteries like a moron and like a homeless person behind a Wendy's, what you can do instead is you can buy Bitcoin, which is a productive asset on your balance sheet now, thanks to the new accounting rules, right? And that's going to be able to boost your balance sheet with permanent capital, all right? Because it's a permanent gain as long as you're not selling it, because it's always going to continue to appreciate in value given its scarcity, right? GameStop shares are not scarce. You can continue to create an infinite amount of GameStop shares, actually. That's what a lot of these guys don't realize. So if you keep buying it up, buy, we're going to push the price up. Ryan Cohen and the team can just dilute you by making more shares. And by flooding the market with shares, you make each individual share less valuable. I know, groundbreaking. Guess what? You can't make any more Bitcoin. Yes, wow, groundbreaking. So I want everyone to understand, I don't like the GameStop guys. They got me into investing, and Wall Street Bets got me into investing, so I'm very thankful in that regard. However, they are the definition of a cult of morons who just want to be right more than anything, and no matter how much evidence you show them, they will never change their mind or change their thesis, because that would be them admitting that they were wrong and that their thesis was incorrect. Okay? Same with the AMC guys, same with the Bed Bath & Beyond guys. Bed Bath & Beyond literally went bankrupt, and these guys wrote it all the way down to zero because they're idiots, and they thought that, oh no, this is all part of a greater plan, and the guy knows what he's doing, and now they end up following all these cult like losers like Plute or whatever. And that's why I love GME Meltdown so much. It's really hilarious. I love it. But at the end of the day, what we're going to witness potentially, if Ryan Cohen really is not a total moron, which he is a moron, so I don't know what he'll do. But if GameStop actually ends up buying Bitcoin, what they could do is they can enact the MicroStrategy play. And when that happens, that means that they'll be able to sell GameStop shares, but instead of diluting shareholders, they can do something accretive for the shareholders, because then you'd be buying Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to go up faster than the shares of GameStop would anyway. The shares of GameStop aren't going up because they're not generating any revenue and they're not really generating any profits. The company is completely dead in the water. All right. This is a zombie company. How do you revive your zombie company rebrand it and turn it into something completely different through financial engineering, by using a harder money, by adding Bitcoin to your treasury. Okay. MicroStrategy went from a corporate intelligence company, right, offering different AI solutions and cloud computing solutions and software solutions. And now they're a Bitcoin bank. Okay. They issue Bitcoin securities. They're soon going to issue Bitcoin bonds and Bitcoin loans and all this other crazy stuff. But they are a Bitcoin bank, essentially. That's what they are now. They were not that when they started this strategy, but they rebranded and completely changed the strategy of their company, right? Now Strategy is a Bitcoin bank. All of this is going to lead to a massive price appreciation because GameStop could also create convertible notes, or a type of debt that allows the fixed income market, like insurance companies or sovereign wealth funds or whatever it might be, to buy some Bitcoin exposure to your company, right? The same way that MicroStrategy did. And when you do that, you're now leveraging your Bitcoin position, which again, boosts your stock price up massively. This would lead to a Wall Street Bets Part 2 type run up where everyone starts to frenzy back into GameStop because they think the squeeze is happening. They don't really know what's going on. People already don't understand what Michael Saylor's doing. They don't understand it. They don't have the IQ to understand really basic stuff. So when they see that happening, they think it's just magic. They think it's just random. Okay. These are the same people who, if they were to see a waterfall, water coming down from the hill, you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, that's just magic, just magically water falling down. Like, no, actually it's gravity. And I can explain to you the process by which the water comes down the hill, like mathematically. But again, you just don't get it yet. Right now, you just think it's magic. So all these people are going to think that it's magic. They're going to pile in. They're going to continue to fuel the beast. GameStop gets bigger, bigger, bigger. What they do is they sell shares to buy even bigger, bigger, bigger hordes of Bitcoin. And you create this flywheel similar to what we've seen in MicroStrategy. Okay. So if you get it, then you get it. You can turn your company from a zombie company to the most profitable company in the S&P 500. Or you could not get it and let your company slowly grind to zero. The choice is all up to Ryan Cohen and his team. I'm making this video because I feel like he might be figuring it out after all these years. Hey, you know what? I shouldn't leave $4.5 billion worth of toxic waste on the balance sheet because inflation is eating away at this every single day and I'm losing shareholder value. Maybe I should put it in something that's going up faster than the rate of inflation. That way I can keep my company above water. That makes a lot of sense. It seems pretty obvious to someone like me. Clearly, one of the hardest things in the world to a billionaire like Ryan Cohen. Maybe he's just not the brightest, but thanks to Michael Saylor breaking it down for him in baby terms, in layman's terms, maybe he finally gets it. All right. Once again, this is not vindication of the GME boys, because what's going to happen is if they go through with this Bitcoin plan, the price of GameStop is going to moon unbelievably. It's going to go up way, way, way harder than during the initial squeeze back in the day when the hedge funds got caught and they turned the buy button off. That's going to look like a flat line. I repeat, that is going to look like a flat line if they go through with this Bitcoin strategy. That does not mean that the GameStop guys were right. I literally went into the subreddit. This is why I hate these guys so much. I went into the subreddit and I told them like 2 years ago, hey, if you guys were to get the company to buy Bitcoin, then the company would actually make it somewhere. You'd actually have money. You'd actually succeed at this thing that you're trying to do, and I got banned from the subreddit for saying that. So at the end of the day, I hate the GameStop guys. They got me into investing, but then they turned into a cult of morons, and they just pissed me off. And it's kind of annoying to see them potentially win because of Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is for anyone and for everyone. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to get it. Okay. And some people just aren't smart enough to get it. They're too arrogant to get it. They can't check their ego enough to admit that they were wrong. So they'll never get it. Right. But it is for anyone. And Ryan Cohen might just be anyone. So he might go ahead and put that 4.5 Bs into some BTC. And then once he does that, all heck is going to break loose. What am I doing about it? Me personally, I bought leaps. Okay. I bought far dated calls. And we'll see how that works out for me. All right. Again, typically I wouldn't do stuff like this. This is literally gambling, in my opinion. Okay. Because if Ryan Cohen doesn't do this, GameStop is going to zero. End of sentence, end of question, end of discussion. GameStop is a horrible company and it's going to zero unless they go ahead with this Bitcoin strategy. I'm trying to front run the Bitcoin strategy. Let's see what happens, okay? We could see another 100x out of GameStop if they adopt this strategy. And that's true for every other company. Any company that adopts this strategy can literally 100x their company in about 4 to 8 years. 100% guaranteed that will happen if you do a Bitcoin strategy, which would be pretty obvious to everyone who has a publicly traded company. But so far, it's only obvious to it's only obvious to Strategy, Similar Scientific, and a couple others, right? So we'll see what happens. With that being said, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time. And let's see how if I was right, man. Let's come back to this video in a year or 2 years from now, and let's see what Ryan Cohen and his team do with GameStop. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with someone who might find it interesting. Share it with your favorite Bitcoin content creators. And I will see you in the next video, my friends. Remember, stack sats or die trying.